Good afternoon everyone, welcome to Penrith for the final fixture in the Indigenous round in the SRL Premiership. Tuesday night action set to wrap up with an absolute bang. Taken by the Penrith Panthers. Both sides making their way out onto the park. Locked at the top of the table at the moment with 2 rounds remaining, including this one of the regular season. Panthers will be looking to their experienced half combination, especially James Thorne. Joshua Butterfield in with him at the moment as well to really get the Panthers on the front foot early. Meanwhile, it's Kobe Johnston and Luke Short who really have been leading from the front over the last couple of weeks. And they will be looking to make an impact straight away here in this one. It's Sonny Tyre with the ball on the tee. The referee blows the game on, and we are underway here in Penrith to wrap up week 6 in the Simulation Rugby League Premiership. And it's the Eels with their hands on the ball first of all, going right to left. And straight away it's Eli Barnes who makes a good break. Just to the right of the field. And straight away they're up to the halfway line here, Parramatta.
3 hands away.
So it's 1 versus 2 on the ladder. The Panthers currently sitting at the top based on points differential.
Hold the 10.
And they will be looking at this game to solidify their spot in the finals for the first time after narrowly missing out in season 1. Meanwhile, Parramatta, our defending premiers, have been consistent throughout the season, only dropping the 1 game so far.
2 hands away.
Going down to the Warriors in round 2, 24 points to 12. But apart from that, have looked the goods, both on attack with Eli Barnes and on defence with Kobe Johnston and Abraham Walker. As we see, Luke Short has put a big shot on Lachlan Martin to get straight back to his feet. And they go to Tyre this time. Sonny Tyre has been one of the outstanding buys for the Panthers in the off-season, and we've seen an early error here from the Panthers. James Thorne just looking to get the kick away and had a player in front of him. And they will find the touchline on that Greg Alexander Stadium stand side of the park. Thomas Wallace taking it forward, one of the standout defenders for Parramatta so far this season. Averaging 25 tackles per game. And a hit percentage rate of 79% at Settendag up through the middle. Near side they come through Barnes. He hits Jaden White. Again partnering up with Charlie Butler in the halves here this afternoon. So final tackle. We'll go through the teams in a moment, but it's Tim James back to Luke Short. Bit of a mix-up, and Short's been caught with the ball. And another disappointing end to the set for the Eels. So both sides starting this game with a couple of unforced errors. Possibly the nerves still fresh. As the game is now 6 minutes in, and we've seen 3 errors already. 2 to the Panthers, 1 to Parramatta.
Get off him. 3 back to 10.
As mentioned, Charlie Butler, obviously the halves for Parramatta. And Jaden White joins him for the 2nd week in a row as we see another error here from Penrith. This is getting a little bit ridiculous. Shuey Smith was moved to the bench last week. This week he finds himself in the centres, partnering up with Ethan Durant. Only major change for the Eels. No changes for the Panthers. They're at full strength at the moment.
4, get back, look at me.
Could say Jacob Blackburn deserves to be in the starting 13, but he'll find himself in the 17 jumper here tonight. As Barnes will set it up just inside the Panthers 10. Final tackle to White, who's going to put it high. It's a good twist early for Brodie Kennedy, but he makes no mistake and he takes it down well, but he has been forced back into his in goal. And the Panthers will restart through Sonny Tyre. And I'll send it back down to the halfway line. And Thomas Wallace will get it. Luke Short bring it back, and it's a good charge. A hard charging run by Luke Short, who you'd have to say is really starting to find a little bit of form at the right time of the season. Both him and Kobe Johnston have had an underwhelming first half of the season, you have to agree. But the last couple of weeks they've really stepped up, and in particular Luke Short. We all know his exploits from season 1, scoring the try of the season. As we see another unforced error and giving away possession of the ball here, Parramatta. So a sloppy start from both sides, no real moisture or dew on the ground that you can speak of. It's been a pretty dry couple of days in the lead up to this one. And a couple of unforced errors from both sides. They go left, near side to us. So Brodie Kennedy playing the ball, they stay near side. Inside ball to Corey Parker. Looking for more big meters up through the middle today. Corey Parker, one of the leading runners of the ball for Penrith.
That's one. Move.
It's Mitchell to play the ball. They go from Durant. James gives it to Short. Up to the line, met the big tackle by Mark Lee, the big little fella up around the waist. Had Remy coming into assist him as Wallace starts straight up through the middle. Finds Short and support. Still looking to throw the ball around here, Parramatta. There's Walker, Abraham, straight up through the middle into Sinclair. James, good quick play of the ball. They go to Wallace. This is better now from Parramatta. Wallace will play the ball. Butler will get the kick away, but it's not a great kick, just a sort of floated kick down to the wing of Sonny Tyre. And no real problems for Tyre on that one.
Held. 2 hands away.
So Mason Remy, Mark Lee at dummy half. They go left to Martin.
Right, that's the third.
To Kennedy, jinks his way off the right, almost gets away from Tim James. Up over the halfway line they go through Bradford.
He's held there. 5, markers lock in.
Opting for the number 12 jumper tonight, Sean Bradford. One of the rookies, one of the top rookies of the season so far.
That's one.
Sean Bradford.
Move.
Good return from Braden Smith. They set it up just outside their 40 through Cody Johnston. Again, Abraham Walker using their big guys so far early in the set, the Eels. Now they go to Short, continuing to charge his way up through the middle, down the centre of the park. Lots of early touches so far for Short and Johnston as Eli Barnes injects himself for the first time tonight. Taken down, the good tackle by Corey Parker had to be made as well, as White puts the kick in. Not a great kick, picked up by Bradford.
He's held there.
Pinballed off the legs for a moment. There's a big hit put on Corey Parker, and Wallace has come away with it, so a big error for the Panthers, and Corey Parker looks dazed. He does not know looking at where he is, and he is standing in the defensive line as James runs right straight for him, and he does well. He just falls on top of James. I think Tim James saw it, and he played to the referee. They go to Johnson this time. Tackle 2 for the Eels. Their first real attacking opportunity of the half. White to the line, finds Barnes. Can't find his way through, taken down by Mark Lee. Coming left side this time to Johnston, powering towards the line, but taken down by a good 2-man tackle. So final tackle now. James has got numbers to the right. He goes to the right. White puts the kick in and coming through. Brodie Kennedy's jumped on it. I thought for a moment Barnes had got it, but Kennedy's cleaned it up and he gets back out into the field of play. So frantic stuff here to start this game after a couple of errors in the opening 10 minutes. Things are starting to become a lot more free-flowing as we come to the conclusion of the first quarter. Kennedy gets the ball on the inside. Looking out to test out their middle defence from Parramatta. Butterfield to kick on the final. Just straight down the middle to Barnes. Dangerous player to kick the ball to for a kick return, Eli Barnes. They do so nonetheless. They go short side. They go to Smith, who evades one. That was Sinclair. Eventually taken down by Martin. Around the legs was Lee. Near side again. Barnes had Smith on his outside. He couldn't quite get the hands free. As Wallace gets hit in a big tackle, Parker picks it up. The big fella, support by Thorne on his inside, but he doesn't use him. James Thorne was screaming for the ball. Parker was taken down, possibly still dazed, but Yuan Parker this time through the middle. Big Yuan Parker wrapped up in a good tackle by Barnes and held up over the line. So all of a sudden the Panthers turning defence into attack as they spread the ball out wide, but they've lost it forward and Attila Setendag comes away with it. So another error creeping into the Panthers game, and an error that really lets that opportunity go awry. What a start to this game. Arguably the game of the round. Keep in mind the Warriors versus Rabbitohs game that we just witnessed. It started off like this, really slow, low-scoring game for the first 40 minutes where the Rabbitohs just blew out. In the final 40, it was Isaac Edwards who came on and really ignited that game for the Rabbitohs. So anything can happen here in this one as Barnes will play the ball on the far side. Butler's going to put it high, coming down for Kennedy, but once again he does well underneath it and he breaks away as well. No one in front of him, Brodie Kennedy. Tim James is chasing, he won't have the speed. Barnes is coming, but he's too far behind, and Brodie Kennedy will go in for the opening try of the game and his third of the season. The Panthers open it up here at home. Too much speed from Brodie Kennedy. He has looked safe as houses so far in the opening 23 minutes of this one. And he took it down well. And the acceleration off the mark put him into a gap. And there was no stopping him from there. Sonny Tyre adds the extra 2. Maintains his 100% kicking record so far this season. And the Panthers out early, 6 points to 0. So back underway off the boot of Charlie Butler. Here it's Vinny Detroit getting his first touch of the game off the bench. As Bradford makes a break through the middle.
He's held there. Off him now.
Looking for a quick play the ball as well. He gets it. They go left side as Kennedy finds Martin.
Hands away.
Nice little flick back on the inside from Brodie Kennedy. In behind, Detroit on the inside. Charging run from Denny Detroit. But he's looked for the offload. And it's gone into a Parramatta player. This could be a Panthers ball. It is. It's gone into a Parramatta player and it's gone forward. So it was Detroit who looked for the offload.
He's held there. Right.
Parramatta player unable to hold on to it, and the Panthers have got a prime opportunity here to put more points on the board. Matangi at dummy half. Parker tries to find, look like Detroit, who left it behind, has to go clean up. Need to play the ball. Kennedy at dummy half to Martin. Tackle 3, driven back in a big tackle. That looks like Settendag. And Butler. Right side, Thorne gives it to Detroit. Cut out pass to Butterfield. Great ball from Vinny Detroit. Butterfield was taken down well. Had to be made as well. So final tackle. Parker, he'll put it high. Testing kick coming down for Kennedy. Hands on the ball again, but wrapped up in a good tackle by Thomas Wallace. So all the pressure coming from the Panthers at the moment. Really have come into season 2. And they are Premiership contenders for sure. We've mentioned already they narrowly missed out on the top 4 in season 1. In fact, it was Parramatta who claimed that 4th position by points differential over the Panthers. These sides who have met once before. It was the Panthers who won that game 24 points to 18. And what was a high-scoring game and a big game for both sides. Lachlan Sinclair crossing for the Panthers that day. Caden Bell, Alex Chen, who's now at the Raiders, and Mason Yates, who has since left the SRL. And for the Eels, it was Dan Mitchell, Braden Smith, and Hayden Yates crossing over.
Get back, look at me.
24 points to 18. The Panthers winning that one. And they're in the front at the moment as well as Parker makes another good charge up through the middle. He is making big meters for the Panthers. Corey Parker and Lachlan Martin really are the leading forwards for Penrith. Lachlan Martin averaging 151 metres per game.
2 hands away. He's held there.
Corey Parker averaging 107, but big metres so far from Parker as he makes a tackle on Shelford.
3 back with me.
Wraps him up, still inside the Eels half here. Carter off the bench. A good first run through the middle from Luke Carter. Up to the Panthers 40, they come right side. Smith in a hole, it closes. It was Thorne who had to take him down. Sorry, no, Butterfield. And a good tackle on Huey Smith. James is going to put a high. Good chase coming from Parramatta. But again, it's Brodie Kennedy who gets away and takes it. And he's got away again. Brodie Kennedy, absolutely dynamic in this first half. He's got too much speed, and I've cracked it again. Kennedy goes over for Penrith's second try. They continue to plug Brodie Kennedy at the back, and they are just not learning from their mistakes. Seventh try of his career for Brodie Kennedy. Starting to really develop into a premier fullback. Played for the Kangaroos last season in the international fixture. Possibly looking to play State of Origin next year, pushing for that New South Wales spot. Obviously, a lot of competition for that fullback spot in the New South Wales lineup. Chaz Dingo will be one of them. Eli Barnes as well.
Here's tackle 1.
Although Eli Barnes may not be eligible anymore. Anyway, we're back underway after that Brodie Kennedy try, and Panthers are looking hot at the back at the moment.
3 hands off.
As Butterfield gives it to Bradford.
4
Right underneath us here at Panthers Park. perfect conditions for this game as James comes away with it. Tim James, he will not be run down this time as Tim James goes under the posts and the Eels grab their first try of the afternoon. Run down and a good tackle by Jordan Williams last week, but not tonight as he shows a good clean set of heels. Goes in for his second try of the season. And the Eels strike back just before half time. No issues for Charlie Butler out in front. Maintains his 94% success rate this season. Back underway off the boot of Sonny Tyre. It's the Panthers out in front, 12 points to 6, 5 minutes until half time.
Release.
You're watching the Simulation Rugby League Premiership. AI versus AI, where you are the player.
Clear him now. 2.
Join our Discord if you want to join for Season 3, set to launch in early 2022.
3. Back to 10. Held.
The link is in the description of this video.
4.
We are taking
Get back,
registrations
look at me.
left, right and centre at the moment. As Butler
He's held there.
charges it
5.
forward.
Markers lock in.
This big Eels 5'8". Wallace with the kicking duties. Decides to send it down this time to Sonny Tyre's wing. Learning from their mistakes, not wanting to send it down to Brodie Kennedy.
Held. Let him up.
Tied as well, brings it out to about 25 metres out. They go to Martin this time.
He's held there.
More metres from the
Get
big
off
second
him.
rower.
That's your second.
Up through the middle. Inside this time to Parker. Spots a bit of a hole, it closes.
Held. 3.
Met front on, a good tackle by Shelford.
He's held there.
Detroit
That's tackle 4. Hands
taking
off.
forward. He's played well so far since coming off the bench, Vinny Detroit. As has Bradford, who cuts back on the inside. Looks for Butterfield on his inside, but just as he tried to get the pass away, he had his arm chopped down and he lost control of it. And that's a horrible pass from the back of the scrum from Thomas Wallace.
Held.
As Jaden White has
He's
to go back
tackle
and
1.
clean it up. Got a good offload there from Bradford. Unfortunate not to find his man. Has a good inside ball to Settendag and then to Butler.
2.
And the Eels trying to throw it around just before half time. That's Luke Short setting it up centre field. 35 out. Tackle 3 for Parramatta as they go inside the Barnes. Has been nullified so far here tonight by some good Panthers defence. Butler to the wing of Durant. Gets around one. It was Sonny Tyre got around. Wrapped up by Amatangi. But they're inside the Panthers 10 here. Final tackle to Wallace. Puts it in the in goal. Lee has to go back and clean up. No real chases from the Eels. And Lee manages to get back into the field of play with no real problems. Tyre will take it forward. And the siren will sound half time here in Penrith. And it's the Panthers out in front, 12 points to 6. Welcome back to the Simulation Rugby League Premiership. Round 6 action Set to wrap up here tonight in Penrith. And it is the Panthers who are holding a narrow 6 points lead as Charlie Butler gets the second half underway. With the Panthers with their hands on the ball first of all. And it's Jacob Blackburn who's come on at half time.
He's held there.
Don't know how he's come on straight away, but that's good. Left side they come, Butterfield to Remy. An opening half to remember for Brodie Kennedy at the back for the Panthers. 200-metre tries, going the length of the field.
He's held there.
After taking down
Move.
2 high-pressure kicks. Finds the Panthers out in front. It's Tim James who struck back late in the first half to get the Eels' first try. They find themselves down by 6 points at the moment. Still plenty of time to go. And a pretty even contest at the moment. 5 errors for the Panthers in the first half. 4 for Parramatta.
Let him go. Let him go.
And pretty even possession as we see the Parramatta Eels look to make their way through their first set of the second half. They go to set and dag.
That's tackle 4, hands off.
This time it's short, just taking it up through the middle.
Held there. Tackle 5, hold.
Right to Butler, punching it down to the wing of Sonny Tyre. No real pressure on him, but it is a good chase from the Eels outside backs, led by Ethan Durant. Kennedy through the middle once again.
2 hands away.
Nice hold put into it by Remy. And they come near side through Butterfield to Thorne. Looks to dummy.
Right, that's the third.
Straightens it up and goes himself.
Up now.
Just inside their own 40 here, Penrith. To Yuan Parker.
Get back, look at me.
Almost scored a try in that opening 40 minutes. Butterfield to kick, good kick by Butterfield as well, finding some big metres in behind the Eels line. Having to track back as Dan Mitchell and Eli Barnes. And a good chase from Penrith, but Barnes gets away from the first line of defence.
Right.
And it's chopped down by Brodie Kennedy, which had to be made, you'd have to say. But they have covered him well so far tonight, Eli Barnes.
He's held there. Held 2.
Arguably the biggest threat on the park.
Held 3.
Leading try scorer this season. 8 tries to his name.
Move.
Had a quiet game last week against the Rabbitohs.
He's held there. 5th and last.
And as mentioned, he's been well contained so far here tonight. As White will put the kick in. This time they go to the wing of Fisher. Have we seen Nathan Fisher tonight? He's got fresh legs though. Nathan Fisher's busted through the middle. 2 players chasing him from Parramatta. But Fisher's going to go in for a second try of the season. After going almost the whole season without scoring, and I don't think he's even touched the ball in the first half, Nathan Fisher's just exploded through the line. Oh, what a try. The skipper, just when it's needed. And Penrith stretch their lead at home, and the home crowd, well, they are up on their feet and they are absolutely pumped for this. Extra 2 there for Sonny Tyre. 18 points to 6. So back underway off the boot of Charlie Butler. If you're just joining us, 12 points to 6 at half time.
2.
Nathan Fisher's just scored the first try of the second half, running 60 metres To go under the post.
3.
His
Hands
second try of the
away.
season, third of his career.
Clear him.
It's Mason
That's
Remy to take it forward.
Hands off. He's held there.
More big meters from Mason Remy this week, averaging 111 per game.
Held.
Already
Held.
up over
5.
90 in the opening 50 minutes. Back to Thorne. Nice big kick from James Thorne, putting pressure on Mitchell at the back. And Mitchell gets away from another. Kennedy's been stranded. I'm not sure if Kennedy's going to cut him down. It looks like he will. And Mitchell's been cut down just inside the Panthers 10. I thought for a moment Mitchell was away as they go to quick play the ball. They go to Johnston, the skipper, looking to push us over 2 times in 2 weeks. Right this time to White. They go short, but Kennedy's come away with it. They've thrown it away once again, Parramatta.
He's held there.
And that's just petered out into a bit of nothingness.
Held. That's his second.
Looks like Jaden White was trying to find Attila Settendag,
He's held
who
there.
was coming in fast through a big hole.
Held. 3.
And Settendag would have been in.
Held. Move it. 4.
A couple of bench players for Parramatta still waiting to come on. Looks like
held
Isaac
there.
Simons and William
Get
Jones
off him. 5. Hold on a 10.
on the bench still. As Butterfield kicks. Another big kick from Joshua Butterfield.
1. Release.
They've got some big boots in their team, the Penrith Panthers. James
Held.
Thorne obviously leading the
Let
competition.
him up. 2. Hands
The
away.
kick meters per game averaging 244
3. Hands away.
per week. And Joshua Butterfield is no slouch himself against some big meters
That's tackle 4.
behind
Hands
that
off.
Parramatta line.
He's held there.
So on the half they play it. Needing to score next, Parramatta. Settendag who takes it forward. They go to Butler on the final, just again punching it down to the wing of Sonny Tyre. Noticeably they're staying away from Brodie Kennedy in the second half.
He's held there.
They've learnt, but have they learnt too late? As Remy gets his hands free and finds James Thorne
Let him go. 2.
just on his
Hands
outside,
away.
and they stay short side. In fact, they go to Tyre, shrugs off one. Sonny Tyre, good run
3.
from the
Back to
winger,
10. He's
right
held there.
underneath us here on the halfway line.
4. Move.
Kennedy will play the ball. Almatangi at dummy half. He's had a quiet game.
5. Hold
To
on a
Thorne,
10.
who's met in a big tackle by Luke Short. Tyre will kick, just sort of punching it through, a little chip kick, waiting for the chasers, but no one really chasing through on it. Only really Tyler Amatangi. This time it's Short,
Held. 2.
punching it through to James, to Johnston.
He's held there.
Looking to up the intensity here in his second stint on the park. White gets the pass away this time to Barnes. He finds Butler.
Held. 4.
In the
Get
backfield.
Back. Look at me.
Eels really struggling for any sort of punch at the moment as Short has
5.
William
Hold.
Jones on his outside, but decides not to use him. Just takes it up, they set it at centre field. So Jones is on the park. Looks like Isaac Simons is on as well. Good return from Sonny Tyre from the kick.
He's held there.
He's starting to play with a little bit more freedom and confidence at the moment, Sonny Tyre.
Held. 2. On the keep.
18 points to 6 as we creep towards the end of the third quarter.
He's held. 3.
The charge up the middle is Mason Remy. To Tyre once again, he's looking dangerous on this near touchline, almost getting away from the clutches of Dan Mitchell. As they go to Kennedy, breaks to the middle, offloads on his outside to Amatangi. He can't get the hands free, but another good run from Brodie Kennedy. Final tackle, Tyre at dummy half to Lee, puts in the kick, picked up by Jack Spillane, offloads on the side to Thorne. Can he get over James Thorne? No, he's wrapped up in a big tackle. But Panthers, they are looking dangerous at the moment.
He's held there. One. Release.
Eels needing to go 90 metres to score. And they must. They must score next. And they get a penalty. Jaden White will look to find the sideline. Possibly up around the halfway mark. Or just short of it. So 6 tackles.
He's held there.
On the halfway line they start things. They spread it to Barnes. Finds himself in a hole. Makes some good metres up through the middle.
Held. 2.
They need more of that, Parramatta. Good passing from James from dummy half. They go to Durant. Good charge by the centre 3/4. Up into Penrith's 10. James attempts to come right this time to Butler. Struggling towards the line. Charlie Butler. Has he got over? No, he hasn't. He plays the ball. But they go to Ethan Durant, who just strolls over through a gaping hole. I think the Penrith players thought Butler was over. And he got a good quick play the ball. And James just went flat to Durant. And Kennedy, I think Kennedy and Spillane were just caught out in no man's land. So Parramatta strike back just when they needed it. Sends it through, 2 from 2 so far tonight, Charlie Butler. And we are back to a 6-point ball game. Parramatta yet to have the lead tonight. But they are keeping it within 6 and keeping it within striking distance. And Sonny Tyre will send it down for Parramatta to get things restarted.
He's held
And
there.
Huey Smith
1. Release.
looks to have slotted back onto the field into the second row
2. Hands away.
after starting
Held.
at centre.
Up now.
So we'll wait and see how that's changed up there. Bench rotations as
He's
Jones
held
takes
there.
it forward.
3. Hands off.
White decides to switch it up. Wallace finds
Held.
Eli Barnes
4.
on his inside, but he's covered
Move.
well. And a good tackle by Corey Parker. That's White kicking early across field. A nothing kick really as Almatangi comes away with it. Breaks away from one, gets away from another. A big tackle on Almatangi by Thomas Wallace. And a big tackle it was, it had to be made. And they've put it down here, Penrith. Just dropped it cold. And that's an anticlimactic finish to that. After Almatangi made a good break up this near sideline.
Right. Here's tackle 1. Held.
We'd like to see more of Tyler Almatangi.
He's held there. 2. Hands
He'll
away.
get his hands on the ball a little bit more as this season progresses.
Held.
Obviously he's a rookie this
3.
season, his first
Back with me.
time in the SRL, but had a fabulous nines campaign for
He's held
Penrith
there. 4. Hold the 10.
and was one of the top picks in the rookie draft back in the
Held.
off-season.
Tackle 5. Hold.
I would really like to see him inject himself more into this game as Eels send it down to Fisher, who returns it at speed once again. He looks dangerous with ball in hand.
Held there.
And he's just not getting that ball in his hands enough. This time Blackburn offloads to Lee,
Held. 2.
possibly Blackburn's first touch of the game. To Butterfield, he's thrown it away. Tried to find Almatangi on the outside, a big cutout pass, and Settendag's come away with it. So this is exactly what the Eels wanted, forcing a big error from Penrith, and they're deep inside their territory here as Johnston gets a flat ball, but right up on the defensive line, hitting a big tackle by Spillane and Detroit. Far touchline is Simons. Looks like he's slotted into the centre row. Back towards us to Johnston. Pumping the legs towards the line, making an extra couple of metres. Final tackle now. Back to White. White's going to put it high. This is a big testing kick. Coming down with it, Sonny Tyre. And he breaks through the line as well. A good return from Sonny Tyre, who's having one of the best games of his season. And somehow they manage to get away from that one, Penrith. And they're making metres up through the middle as well as Amatangi tries to shrug off Butler. Spillane, that's a good hold by Thorne. The big second rower just charging onto it. Into the backfield for Penrith. They go short to Parker, met in a big tackle by Wallace. Putting his back. Now it's Thorne to put it high. Testing for Barnes, but it's a little bit too deep. And they'll bring it out to the 20 for the restart.
Right, that's 0.
So back live here on SRL TV. Counting
Release.
down to 11 minutes remaining here in Penrith. Set for an exciting 10 minutes to end round 6 in the SRL Premiership. What a season it has been so far. The Canberra Raiders getting their win against the Cowboys last night. And then the Seagulls getting up against the Broncos to set up an absolutely cracker final round of season 2. Meanwhile, this game could potentially decide who gets the minor premiership. A reminder how the final structure works. It is 1v4 and 2 versus 3 in the first round of the finals week. As Spillane gets a forward pass. Slightly in front of his man. Looked like it came from Sinclair or Bradford. No, it was Sinclair. Looking for Spillane on his inside, but Spillane slightly overrunning that one. And on the halfway line, Parramatta will pack down. As Barnes takes it forward, danger signs as Barnes gets open space. But he's been chopped down by Yuan Parker. And that was a big tackle on Eli Barnes, who just looked out of breath. Parker ran him down, no problems at all really. But still, opportunities here as Wallace. They come right to Barnes again. 8 metres out, they'll play the ball, tackle 3. James to Butler to Settendag. A good short ball to Settendag, cutting back in on the line. James a dummy half. They go to Jones, and he's straight in under the posts. Once again, the Penrith defence just opens up, and William Jones crosses over untouched. Second try of the season off the bench tonight. Again, it looked like Jack Spillane just caught out. And this will even it up. 18 all. And we are coming towards field goal territory now. So 18 all here in Penrith with 7.5 minutes remaining. Field goals about to be served up. You'd have to say for the Eels, Charlie Butler or Jaden White. Obviously White had a field goal last week against the Rabbitohs.
Right, here's tackle 1.
For the Panthers, maybe Butterfield.
2 hands away.
James Thorne, not really known for his field goals. You'd probably go Butterfield. There's Jones, the try scorer.
Right,
makes his way through the middle. James got the offload, had his hands free as well. Couldn't find a way to get the ball away. As they go to White on the inside, on the halfway line, tackle 4.
Hold the 10.
This time it's Durant on this near touchline, taken down by Tyler Amatangi. So final tackle, they'll punch it down into the wings. They come down towards Sonny Tyre, and he will bring it back with speed. Sonny Tyre playing with confidence tonight. The Eels looking to force a mistake here. Surely as they go to Spillane. He'll charge it forward into contact. Into Wallace, assisted by Jones. They stay near side of Tyre. Looking the most dangerous on the park at the moment, Sonny Tyre. Amatangi dummy half to Thorne. Flat to Martin. Continuing to make metres and up over the halfway line. Staying near side. Thorne's put it down. And the Eels have come away with it. It was number 12 for the Panthers. That could be Bradford. Lost control of it. It was a good flat pass from Thorne. Hit him in the chest. But surely you'd have to say Parramatta are going to set up for a field goal here. As Johnson straightens it up. Just inside the Panthers 30. Tackle 4. They're going to go for it early. It's White again. And he's drilled it straight through the middle. Jaden White. I thought for a moment they'd wait for tackle 5, but from 35 metres out, Jaden White has drilled it. So from 18 points to 6 down, the Eels have come back late in the second half. Sonny Tyre restarts, and surely Penrith are going to have to try and force a mistake here as Smith, Huey Smith goes straight through a tackle of Tyler Amatangi. Tackle's starting to fall off here for Penrith.
2 hands away.
Through the hands to Wallace. The Eels doing well to hold on to the ball at the moment. Jones to Johnston, the skipper. Leading from the front the last 20 minutes. He's been busy with ball on hand. They've knocked it on. No Parramatta. Mix up at first receiver. And Penrith will pack it down just on their own side of halfway.
1 release.
A minute and a half remaining. 50 metres to travel. Surely you go to field goal. Butterfield plays it to Parker. Straight up through the middle, Corey Parker. Good quick play the ball as well. Lee to Butterfield. That's tackle 4. Needing a big run here, Penrith. They go to Spillane. A big tackle on him from Wallace and Jones. And they're going to be a little bit too far out. You have to say Penrith as they'll put it high for Thorne. Testing kick to the wing of Durant. Durant takes it down. And the siren sounds, and Parramatta have got out of jail here. They take the win, 19 points to 18, and break the hearts of Penrith after seemingly having it wrapped up at the 60-minute mark. They have been beaten at the post by a fast-finishing Parramatta. Even possession, and the stats tell the story really, but what an end to round 6 in the Simulation Rugby League Premiership, a round where we celebrated our Indigenous cultures, and Parramatta moved to the top of the table in the Simulation Rugby League Premiership with 1 round remaining. We hope you have enjoyed that, and you join us next week live on SRL TV.